Good evening. This is CTV News for Tuesday, August 7th. I'm Patricia Vallone. Glad to have you with us tonight. Well, a University of Maryland student pleads guilty to threatening to go on a campus shooting spree. Alexander Song, who was in honors program at the school, appeared in court today. Denise Douglas is in Upper Marlboro with the details.
Like you said, Alexander Song pled guilty in court here in Upper Marlboro today, specifically to 2 charges: disturbing the operations of a school and telephone misuse. He was here with his parents. During the hearing, the judge told him that he looked better, appeared to be doing much better than when she saw him before, to which he said yes and nodded his head. Now, Song threatened to go on a shooting spree at the University of Maryland back in March. You may remember that he posted those threats on several websites. Police were tipped off about it and tracked him down and took him into custody. He has been undergoing mental health care since then, also has been under house arrest. Now, though the judge said she would take him off of house arrest, she told him that he would have to maintain a 9 o'clock curfew and would also have to continue his mental care. Now, the state's attorney says this demonstrates the need for tougher laws to handle cases like this one, in which threats are made.
Because it currently is not a crime to make generalized threats. That statute exists in other jurisdictions. For some reason, it does not exist in Maryland, but we see now this case as well as the case we had last week, which highlights the need for that legislation.
The state's attorney says she will be in Annapolis in January lobbying for those tougher laws to make the threats, like she said, in cases like this, a crime. Meanwhile, the judge deferred Song's sentencing, but when it does come up, the prosecution won't be asking for jail time. They want him to do 3 years of supervised probation, during which time he will have to check in with mental health court every month and also do 200 hours of community service. I'm Denise Douglas, CTV News.
And Alexander Song was banned from campus after his arrest. His current status at the university is unclear. Song will be back in court next month for a status hearing. Well, a cell phone video captures a Laurel police officer hitting a handcuffed man Sunday morning. The incident happened at the Laurel Station Bar and Grill. The officers were responding to a report of a fight at the restaurant. In this cell phone video captured by a witness and obtained by NBC4, it's not clear whether or not the officer used an open or closed fist when striking the man.
2 o'clock in the morning on August 5th, Laurel police were called out for a fight that broke out at the Laurel Station Bar and Grill. When they arrived, there were arrests that were made. We are aware that a cell phone caught some video of an officer striking an arrestee. The shift supervisor at the time was aware, immediately notified the chief of police, and an internal investigation was open.
Okay, and has that officer been released, or are they still working, or what's the deal?
It's under an internal investigation at this time.
And as she said, the investigation is ongoing. Police are not releasing the names of the victim or the officer involved in the incident. Well, graffiti artists may have to find a new place to tag their artwork. Yesterday, the Hyattsville City Council approved the installation of 2 automated cameras triggered with motion sensors. Officials say the new technology will help combat vandalism in graffiti-prone neighborhoods.
Areas where you have persistent problems, not with just with graffiti, but other social harm types of crimes, such as illegal dumping, vandalism, loitering, and those types of crimes. You can program them so they not only take a digital image with a bright flash which tends to startle people, but you can program your own message into the cameras telling persons that they must leave, that their activity is illegal, we have their photograph and we may use it for prosecution. So it's more of a deterrent to stop people from doing it, so we don't have to go through the costly process of removing it.
And the new cameras were purchased using federal grant money. Well, we are learning more details about the man police say went on a shooting spree at a Sikh temple in Wisconsin. New reports show that 40-year-old Wade Michael Page had ties to Maryland. Page was a member of 2 bands, Definite Hate and End Apathy. The record company Label 56 that backed his white supremacist music is based in Linthicum. Since the shooting, the label has removed all images and products related to End Apathy from its website. Well, police have identified a body found last week in a Fort Washington Creek as a 22-year-old District of Columbia woman. Police say Siobhan Phillips of Southeast D.C. was reported missing on July 30th. She was last seen alive on surveillance video dropping her daughter off at daycare about 7 a.m. Investigators say her body was found inside of a duffel bag along the creek. The day after Phillips disappeared, her apartment was broken into and ransacked. The investigation is still ongoing. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Solvers at 1-866-411-TIPS. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.